Well, g'day viewers, and welcome to Fly's Outback Adventures. I'm Louis, as you know. Today's subject, I thought I'd do a little quick video about travelling around Australia in the pandemic. So there's a lot of news at the moment. This was 24th or 25th of June or something like that. And in the news at the moment, there's a lot of regional areas of Australia, including certain major areas of Sydney that are in lockdown. And everyone's thinking, oh my God, we can't travel. Well, let me give you my experience, because I call that bullshit, but not everybody else does. But I'll give you my experience. I'll tell you what I did, and let you know. And first of all, I finished work last year on the 4th of December. Within a few days, I was on the road, and I went from far north Queensland, every state and territory, every capital city, with the exception of Tasmania and Western Australia. So I'll show you buddy, on the map here where I went from and where I started. Right, now I'm up here in far north Queensland, right, and what I did, I belted down to Townsville, came straight across here through the Queensland Northern Territory border. That there, I had to do a COVID tech border pass, I should say. Now that's just a simple online thing. It's a tick and flick type form, fairly simple and straightforward. And all they wanted was your previous 14 days of travel, where you've been, just in case there was a COVID outbreak. They weren't interested in your privacy. They don't want to know your life story. Just the previous 14 days. Have you been in a hot spot where it's dangerous, with a lot of pandemics there? And at the border, just inside Northern Territory, when I crossed into there was a police road stop with the cops there. Pulled us over into a truck stop as they did all the traffic. Just checked to see if we had the border pass. It was just a simple thing on our phone. We just showed them a picture, job done, had a bit of a chat and moved on. No big drama. It's not like fucking Nazi Germany or something, right? Then continued over here up to the main north-south road, which I think is called the Stuart Highway or something, right? Went up to Darwin, spent some time up there, Litchfield National Park and a few other places. Back down here into Alice and the West Macdonald Ranges and a few other places down through there. Crossed over into the South Australian border, right? And at that point then, again, I did my little 14-day border pass, and because I'm in the bush most of the times, I'm not exactly in hot spots, but they still required it. So I filled it out, again, a 5-minute thing, and no one there to check me. Not one cop, not one cop, right? Nothing. The only police that were there were checking people going from South Australia into the Territory. I even pulled over and asked the Territory cops, should I show them that, any border pass or anything else, and they says, no, we're not interested in going to South Australia, we're just interested in the Territory. So there's no pass there. So then I continued all the way down through Adelaide, down to the southeast of South Australia, caught up with some family and friends, or not family, but some friends down there, and again, when I crossed into Victoria, I came into the western side of Victoria from Narracourt area, across into Victoria there. Bearing in mind, I'm travelling in a caravan. This is the side of my caravan here. So I'm not exactly trying to go forward drive, sneaking through backtracks. I'm sticking to main roads at the border crossings, bitumen, so forth. Crossed over into Victoria. Again, I did a border pass. Again, no one there to check me. So just crossed over there, no worries. I went into the first town. Pulled up at the bakery, had a coffee and a lunch, lovely, right? Then from there, crossed over through into central Victoria, then went up to north, crossed into New South Wales, caught up with a mate there in Echuca / Moama, and Moama is the north side of Echuca on the Victorian New South Wales border, so you're crossing the river, the Murray River, in and out, no one checking, no border pass was required, gave up on the border passes, and then I never did a border pass again, all right? Then went in and out of Melbourne and country areas of Victoria again, crossed all the way around, followed the coast road this time because I hadn't done that part, went in through Bega and so forth, so I'm crossing into New South Wales there. I didn't even bother with a border pass at that point, right? No one's checking me, there's no roadside stops, no police, no nothing, right? From there, into Canberra, again the same, no border pass, didn't bother wasting my time. Went into Canberra, caught up with some family there, then out of Canberra back into into New South Wales again. So I've been in and out of New South Wales a little bit, the Echuca, Moama, Victoria to New South, coming up through Victoria along the Great Coast Road. I think that's called the Princess Highway, I can't remember by now. Into Bega and Bateman Bay, all that sort of stuff there. So you're crossing into New South again. And then from there, through Sydney, continued up, went into Queensland, no border passes, no one there checking me, no nothing. And again, I'm sticking to main roads. You know, a lot of these roads where I'm just moving between the states, right, I'm actually using the major roads, you know, freeways, right, or major country roads. And again, back into Queensland. And then I worked my way around. I was in Brisbane for a little bit, so forth, all the way back up here. And I'm up here in a little town called Innisfail right now. And so all in all, probably about 18,000 kilometres, something to that effect. And I did that over a 5-month period. And my experience was simple. I just travelled as I've always travelled within Australia. Simple, easy, no fuss. The only thing I did find one time when I was in Victoria catching up with some family there, they did have an incident with COVID-19, so they did a 2-week lockdown, but that didn't bother me at all because I was catching up with family anyway, so I was just hanging around their house and doing that sort of thing. But if I wanted to go to the shops, I still would go to the shops to buy food or do any other thing. Excuse me for a minute, I've got a mate just rocking up, right? And that sort of thing there. So that was the only time I encountered COVID-19 where there was a lockdown or any travel restrictions, but it didn't affect me in any way, shape or form because of where I was at the time. But for the most part, quite easily done, you know, simple as, job done, travel Australia just like you normally do. Use your common sense. If you're in an area where there's a lockdown going on at the time, just stay put. And then when it's time to move on, you just travel on, you know, drink beer, what can I say? Too easy. Anyway, that's enough for now. I'll catch you up next time. Bye-bye, guys.